Art Heists and Hairballs, written by Bailey Booth, performed by Jillian Yetter. Chapter 11. We missed our dinner reservations, Brooks said. The gallery party was supposed to end at 9, but no one was leaving when the police showed up and dragged Margaret's niece out in handcuffs. Martin was still at large, never coming back after he moved the car. Rumor had it that she'd been having an affair with the city's biggest real estate developer. And if I had to guess, he had an eye on building on this very spot. Now we had a reason to celebrate. Good thing I'm totally stuffed. I'm going to have to spend some serious time on the elliptical tomorrow after eating all these cheese balls. Casey put her hand on her stomach. Addie, I can't believe you figured out who stole the painting. I can't either. I never thought it could actually be Nicole, but now it makes so much sense. I was still in shock. The police had questioned me, and I told them everything I'd told Margaret, including that Persephone had talked to me. The officer's eyebrows rose, but he'd taken it in stride. Maybe I wasn't the only one who could talk to animals. You thought it was Henry, didn't you? I looked over at my friend. He was standing in front of one of the paintings, waving his hands as he told someone all about it, the same way he had for me at the museum. He noticed me and winked. I did, but then I didn't, because he's so passionate about art. I can't imagine him ever doing something so disrespectful to a painting, or to Margaret. Do you think you'll go to a Red Sox game with him? Casey said. You can totally buy your own tickets now if you want to. Brooks stopped the waiter and got us another round of champagne. What will you do with the reward money? Margaret hasn't offered it to me yet. She'd mentioned that she might not offer a reward. Or was that Nicole? I certainly wouldn't ask for it. I'd stopped one person from taking advantage of her, and I had no plans of taking Nicole's place. But if she gives it to me, I'll invest in the shelter. What about getting a place of your own, so you don't have to deal with your sister anymore? I shrugged. We'll see. The crowd was starting to thin, now that the excitement had subsided. Persephone wandered out from the back room and came straight over to us, rubbing against our legs. Here's our hero, Casey cooed as she leaned down to pet Persephone. I wish I could talk to you too. Something tells me you do more than solve crimes. You did good. I roughed the fur on the top of her head. You don't know the last of it, Persephone said as I picked her up. Things got so stressful when the police were back there. I managed to cough up a hairball into Nicole's bag. Good girl. That thing would be ripe by the time she finally got the bag back. It was probably being held as evidence. I hope you get lots of tuna, maybe even some lobster. Maybe Henry could let me know the name of that food truck he'd brought me to. Addie, can I talk to you? Margaret asked. The police waved to me on their way out the door. I'd given them my information in case they had any other questions. I didn't expect to hear from them after I told them the smoking gun came from a cat, but I'd do whatever it took to help out Margaret. Of course. I followed her to the kitchen, Persephone still in my arms. She motioned for me to take a seat. I can't thank you enough for what you did tonight. I didn't really do anything. I was in the right place at the right time. She waved me off. You took the disappearance of Bellamy's painting seriously when no one else did. Nicole had painted me a dithering old lady to the police, one who'd left the door open and let anyone who paid attention to me come and go. That was one of the reasons I wanted you to meet Henry. I had a feeling she was going to try to pin this on him, and I wanted him to have a solid character witness. I told the police Persephone can talk to me. Not sure they'll be interested in what else I have to say. There's more to life than what we're told. It's one of the lessons we learn from art. She opened a leather-bound checkbook. How should I make this out? Make it out to Helping Paws. We'd be able to place so many more pets and rescue others from higher-risk shelters. A lot of money had passed by me when I worked at the brokerage, but it never felt real. This was more money than I'd ever been paid at once, and it felt awesome. She shook her head. I'll make a sizable donation to the shelter. I want you to spend some of this money on yourself, Addie. You deserve to celebrate. What do you want? It had been so long since I thought about what I wanted. I'm not sure. Maybe we can do an auction once the stolen painting is recovered, and it will go to your shelter. Margaret put her hand over mine. I was reluctant to let go of the painting because I didn't think anyone could appreciate it more than me. Now I've found a way to put it to good use. Bellamy would be proud. He was lucky to have you. Persephone purred in my lap. She's a good human. He was a wonderful man. Margaret closed her eyes for a long blink, and I had a feeling Bellamy was right here with us in the gallery that bared his name. The gallery that changed my life. Speaking of being meant for each other, I think you should keep Purry Pants. What? I couldn't have heard her right. I adore her, but she has a special bond with you. You understand each other. Margaret rubbed Persephone's ear. I bet there's a cat at your shelter that's looking for a little old lady to hang out with and a sunny windowsill to sleep in. I might know a few kitties that fit that description. I pulled Persephone away from my chest. Do you want to come home with me? My tuna budget just drastically improved. I'd love to. Persephone approves. I thought she might, Margaret said. I have a feeling the two of you might change the world. This has been Art Heists and Hairballs, written by Bailey Booth, performed by Jillian Yetter. Copyright 2021 by Bailey Booth. Production copyright by Bailey Booth. Production coordination by Pink Flamingo Productions.